are we ready? Are we ready? I'm very excited because if I'm being honest with you guys, I've not watched this video fully, and obviously it's a great video. I've seen snippets. It's on this is Jaiden Animation. But you know what we can do? We can always watch like more animation videos as well. I think that would be really fun. Right, so let's go.
There's a set of self-imposed rules you can add to the games to make them more challenging, called a Pokémon Nuzlocke. You can only catch the first Pokémon you run into per route. If a Pokémon faints, it dies, and you can't use it anymore. And you have to nickname your Pokémon to get more attached to them. That means if you aren't careful, you can technically lose a Pokémon game under those conditions. I've wanted to do a Nuzlocke for the longest time. I've started a couple in the past, but never actually got to finish any because busy. But today's the day that all changes. I decided to make a video on my first full attempt at a Pokémon Ruby Nuzlocke. Let's see how it went. After breaking free from the back of the moving truck my mom stuffed me in and introducing myself to the neighbor Brendan, the kid that I always thought was a monkey said that he heard screaming up ahead. Professor Birch is getting mauled by a level 2 Poochyena, so I let his Torchic out and she scratches the crap out of it. He gifts me Torchic for rescuing him, and I name her Teriyaki, my first Pokemon. Walking up the route...
Oh, that's a good point. Also, can I just say, I understand the premise is, so a Nuzlocke is basically, which by the way, I also don't know a whole lot about, but like she was saying there's certain rules. So basically you follow certain rules and it'll be like, you can only catch the first Pokemon that you encounter in an area. Then basically you cannot, once your Pokemon faints, that's that Pokemon done. So you can't go back and heal it and use it again. So basically that would be the end for that Pokemon in your journey. So it's very fun because you name your Pokemon, you like get attached, you play with them. When they get defeated, you can't bring them back, so you have to be careful. You can only pick the first Pokemon you encounter in an area. So say you're walking Route 1, you encounter a Rattata. I don't know if you get Rattata in Route 1, and I think you do. You're gonna have to keep it. You can't not keep it and look for something else in the route. So basically every time you go to a new area, you get the first Pokemon that you encounter, you keep it, give it a name, grow attached. So the whole point is that you get attached to the Pokemon, and even if it's not something you would have picked yourself. And then the whole point of a Nuzlocke, in my opinion, and that's why it appeals to me a lot, is because one, it makes you choose Pokemon. Me, I have the same problem. If I'm fighting Kanto, I always go Snorlax, Umbreon, Lapras. I have a Alakazam, do you know what I mean? So it's fun because it lets me... is the stream gone again? It's back. Okay, good. Okay, it's good that it's back. What I might do, guys, is give me literally a second. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to... There we go. Okay, as I was saying, it makes you choose Pokemon that you wouldn't have. And then obviously you have to name it. And because you have to name it, you grow a certain attachment to it, right? And then once you grow attachment to a Pokemon, it faints, you can't bring it back. And it's so sad. I think there's such a fun thing about having a Nuzlocke going. I would love to do a Nuzlocke in the future, guys. I think what we'll do is after we're done with Pro, we should definitely do a Nuzlocke.
Out more, I run into Brendan, who challenges me to a battle, where Teriyaki proceeds to also scratch the crap out of his Mudkip. Good job, Teriyaki. You're 2 for 2. Doing great. Professor Birch gives me 5 Pokeballs, and the Nuzlocke has officially started. I walked back up to catch my first Pokemon and ran into a Zigzagoon. Alright, not the best, but I can work it.
What's a Zigzagoon? I would have cried. I mean, it's not like you find fancy Pokemon in the first routes, but a Zigzagoon is... Actually... Now that I think about it, it's not the worst one you could get. It's still kind of cute. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think that would be like 5 in terms of how happy that would make me if I catch it for my Nuzlocke. Nah, maybe a 6. It's cute. I think Twitch is back, by the way, because I can see the notification for... Yeah, it's a good, Linoon can pretty much solo the E4. Sure, buddy. if that's what helps you sleep at night. But Zigzagoon I don't think would make me super upset. Also, Mukpai, do you mean you can't change the stream Twitch title or the YouTube? YouTube should be easy. Okay. I don't... Alright. I mean, okay, if you think so, but Zigzagoon would actually make me kind of happy. I'm moving it to 6.5. Okay, 6.5. I'd be happy.
You know, I think we're gonna have a really awesome adventure. Dude, so Teriyaki one-shotted Zigzagoon with a critical hit scratch, but whatever. Contain your murder a little.
So what? That's another thing that I don't know how the rules work. So what happens when you mistakenly off the Pokemon that you first encounter? Teriyaki is a good name. I feel like if I had to name a Torchic, I would have probably called it something goofy. You can't. Oh, so you lose. So do you just move on to a different route without catching anything on that route? That's interesting. Oh my god. Okay, so you gotta be careful. Although I suppose like Realtor Slot people kind of maybe like change rules here and there. So that's how it meant to go. I see. No retries. Okay, interesting. I'm like looking forward to a Nuzlocke. Let's continue.
Little bit, alright, guy? Route 102 is right around the corner, and that's where I was able to catch Corn the Seedot. He's ready to take on the Hoenn region together. After watching the weird kid Wally struggle to catch his first Pokemon, I continued on to Route 104 and found a little Tailo in the grass. Aggressive and screams when hungry. Oh yeah.
I was just saying, I think Talonflame is actually a really good Pokemon. Okay guys, so this is where I confuse Tailo with Flitzling and start going on and on about how I think Talonflame is an awesome Pokemon. So that's something that happened. If I got what do you call it? A Tailo, I think I'd be very happy because I've been wanting to play with Talonflame but never got the chance to. So I think, see, if this was me, I'd be quite happy.
I know your name. In Petalburg Forest, a Team Magma grunt jumps some random professor, so Ari and Teriyaki peck his eyes out. Oh, hello, Shroomish. I'm gonna name you Onion. I make it to Rustboro, and while getting ready to take on Roxanne's gym, Teriyaki kills another
Onion's so
Zigzagoon
funny.
I was about to catch. What's your problem with Zigzagoons, dude? But it turned out alright, because she also ended up evolving. Onion was able to destroy Roxanne with ease, and we got our first gym badge. Exiting the gym, we catch a glance that Team Magma is up to no good again. Something about the scorching earth or something. And this old man exclaims that they stole his Pico. Here's your dog. Also, you're coming with me. The mayor thanks me by turning me into his...
Honestly, again, like I said, I've never watched this whole video before. So far, it's not a bad team. Considering you're just picking up the first Pokemon that you're encountering, it's actually a good team. You've got Blaziken. I mean, that one is not really, the same. But you've got Blaziken. You've got Zigzagoon, which is... I mean... It's okay. It's good. I don't know if in terms of strength, if it's like got good stats or not, but it's okay. Then you've got Seedot, which is actually really good. You've got Talonflame. I'm just thinking of like the evolved team. So far, pretty good, right? I think for a Nuzlocke, that's actually a good team. Okay, let's continue.
Errand boy, and I arrive in Dewford to give a letter to Stephen. Alright, what do we got?
I've always loved Mawile too. I think stats-wise it's nothing like super impressive, but I would love to have a Mawile in my team once. Just I wanna play with like a team I wouldn't usually have. And that's again another thing that I like about Nuzlocke, but I think Mawile would be cool. I think it's a dark. Is it Dark Steel? Nah. What type is Mawile again? I forget. But I've always been intrigued by it. I would love to play a Mawile one day, I think. Anyways, continue. Sorry, I'll try and pause less. I have a very bad habit of like talking too much. Anyways.
Okay, chomps. After finding Steven, it was time to take on Brawly, the next gym leader. Ari's a stone-cold killer and easily earned MVP and
I mean, with a flying type, he probably tanked that gym. Plus, it's just, I mean, there's a Machop and a Makuhita. Talon probably like tanked. Steel Fairy is the best typing. I agree. Steel best defensive, sorry. Fairy best offensive. Combine them. Goated. I like mobile. I don't think it's weird. Of course you would though. Anyways. Alright. Yeah, so this gym was probably like a piece of cake for her.
that fight. Things were going well. 2 badges in, and the team is looking good. On my way to the next city, I caught a tentacle
Good team.
on the beach.
Tentacle is cool too.
Squidward. And after
Nice.
beating Team Magma
I would have named it Squidward too.
and Brendan again in Slateport, it was time again to get ready for the gym battle with Watson. But as I was fighting some trainers, Chomps the Mawile got electrocuted a bit too hard and was killed.
No.
Jaiden, let's
I
battle.
mean, I suppose that was a weak link. Oh god. Anyways, that's her first loss.
Oh, I want to show you how strong I am. Okay.
I've seen this I've seen this animation before and I thought it was so funny. This room is just
Ari, this is an electric gym. You're not allowed to fight in here, so you can just wait outside.
that's
While
so
battling
funny.
the gym trainers, Onion evolved into Breloom, and together with Teriyaki, they were able.
Breloom's a good Pokemon. Is it not grass fighting? Or am I tripping balls? I feel like it is. This is, you know what, so far, this is I really dig this team. I really dig this team.
To get another victory. Now we were riding high. 3 gym badges in and no main casualties. With our massive confidence, we decided to take on the Windstraight family's challenge of beating all their family members. I had Squidward out front to get him some experience, but we ran into some troubles with Grandma. Oh god, it's gonna do a high jump kick. We can take him out, but I need a clean switch first.
So he's gonna sacrifice. Nice.
So I had to
That's the
sacrifice
Pokemon.
Hush.
That's what I would have sacrificed to be fair. If I'm being honest, if I was in art press and I had to sacrifice a Pokemon, that's what I would have sacrificed. Sorry, Whismer.
Child the Whismer. But honestly, that was the safest move to ensure no one else died. Goodbye, Hush Child. You might be missed. While we were heading to Fall Arbor, fighting some trainers, Ari evolved. My big word. Oh, look at you. Yeah. We were almost to town, but we had to get through the sooty grass on 113. Oh, jeez.
What's that?
Guys, get in there with the rest of them. I walked into Meteor Falls to see Team Aqua and Team Magma arguing about water and rocks. Can I go? So get over here, Zubat. They kept complaining and I had to go up the volcano they were blocking to fight Maxie, the team.
Oh, I remember this whole Team Magma and this whole thing. And that happens in Pro too, by the way, guys. We'll go through that too. I think in summer event that happens.
Magma leader. That was a hard fight. Onion and Teriyaki were able to take out his Mightyena and Camerupt, but his Golbat hit hard. I ended up having to switch in Ari and double team up to win the battle. Not the
Nice.
most honorable of
Golbat is a good Pokemon. It has this ability where you can switch out, and then it's obviously super speedy, and Poison is such a good added typing on flying. It's a good Pokemon.
strategies, but it worked and we're moving on. On the way down the volcano, I ran into a matchup. Oh, hello there, Chad. What? You're a female? Did I stutter? We arrived in Lava Ridge Town and started getting through Flannery's gym. During that time, Squidward was almost killed by a Fury swiping Kecleon. Fury swipes. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Stop!
That's so
But when it
lucky.
came time to
Oh my god. I hate multiple hit moves because that feeling, there's been so many times where it'll be 5 hits after 5 hits and I'm like, Just shimmy already. But that's so lucky. One more hit and obviously we would have lost Squidward. Oh my goodness. Imagine that.
Battle, he pulled his weight and more. Honestly, with the team, there wasn't much I could have done to Flannery's fire Pokemon, but Squidward came in clutch by learning Double Beam, and it was all over for her. Badge 4, under our belt. Brendan met up with us outside the gym to give us goggles so we could walk in the sandstorms. I found a claw fossil, and Anorith was born. I didn't know what to name it, so my friend named him Gary. Now it was time for the 5th gym.
Well, we have Squidward and Gary.
Chad evolved into Machoke, and the team was leveled up. I started the battle with Ari, and after realizing I was in trouble...
Yeah, that doesn't do a lot of damage.
Damn.
I managed to squeak by with more double teams. Ari was...
Yeah, I think it's mean look. I think that's it. But I just... Bruh. It's so cancer, especially when you're fighting it in the wild, because you can't switch, you can't run away. Makes things so much harder. But I was gonna say, like, so far her team is shaping to be really good. Right? I'm excited for Talonflame. Like, for the thingy to evolve. Also, Slacking is such a weird Pokemon, but it does hit hard. No wonder it's doing tons of damage. That's the whole point of a Slacking. Is that Slacking? I think it is. Wait, is it? Yeah, I think it's the fully evolved form, like. It is a tank, yeah. Well, I think how much health has he got? It's some insane number, I remember that. Even attack-wise, it's an insane number, I think. But obviously the caviar being you can only go like every other turn. But so far, the thing is working quite good with her. Like the teams he has is quite good for a Nuzlocke, I think. And I'm guessing this is like a normal Nuzlocke where you can't get like super strong legendary Pokemon. Looks like it anyway.
I was barely able to take out the first Slacking, so when the second, stronger one came out, I knew I had to use a different strategy. I brought out Onion to leech seed it and try and get more chip damage in, which worked, but he was also killed by Slacking's Facade, which I thought he could take. Chad was able to finish off the rest of the fight, but that was the first death.
We've lost Mushroom Boy. That's so sad. That's so sad. I like that Pokemon. I think I'll maybe have him in my team at one point because but yeah, I think I wouldn't imagine that it's too what do you call it? Bulky, so Slacking probably just and it's gone. So sad though. Yeah, it's a base Nuzlocke. Makes sense. I think that's where I would like to start as well, just so there's not too much going on and I'm like my brain's frying. I think starting from a base Nuzlocke will be good. Okay, let's continue.
That actually hurt. I'm not crying. Someone's just chopping onions in here.
Oh, I forgot he was called Onions.
And Corn stepped up and was ready to fill Onion's spot.
No
While passing through
sleep.
Mauville again, Watson asked us to help him turn off the city's generator, and while down there I found a Magnemite. You wanna come with?
Nice.
Okay. We kept on our way, catching Spurky the Electrike, and while fighting some trainers...
I don't know if this is unpopular opinion. Also, oh my god, look at Nuzleaf's cheeks. Damn. Nuzleaf is cheeked up. Do you guys see that? Why he cheeked up like that? Anyways. Oh, I forgot my point. Those cheeks are too distracting. I was gonna say something there. Guys, sorry. Listen, I'm just making an observation. That's it. Relax, okay? Relax. I think I was going to say I don't like the Pokemon very much. I don't know what Pokemon I was referring to. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll probably see it again.
Corn survived 2 very close calls. He took a Swords Dance boosted Fury Cutter by Ninjask, and a misclick from me which resulted in him tanking a wing attack from a Talo. No! Corn, no! Dude, Corn, I'm so sorry. You're such a trooper. Good news is Squidward evolved while training, so
Yay!
that's neat. We arrived in
Nice.
Fortress.
Tentacruel is a Pokemon that I'm actually seriously was considering for my run on my current Pokemon thingy. What do you call it? My current Pokemon team. I was seriously considering Tentacruel. It's just cool, and I want to play with cool Pokemon, and it has like some good moves. Yeah, exactly. I think it's pretty good. It's for Kanto, you know.
City, and this was a gym I was really nervous about. Not only did we not have a good team,
Look at her so far. I mean, her team. Sorry. I don't know if I know the name of this Pokemon. We've got Combustion. I'm just thinking of the evolved form. Not right now, obviously, you know, but Blaziken, Talonflame, Tentacruel, Machop, and that's not bad. That's not bad. You know, not bad at all. But depends on what. If you're weak to flying type moves, raise your hand. Uh-oh.
to take on a flying type
Not
gym,
good.
but
Not
Winona's Altaria is notorious.
Altaria is a pain in the some type of hole. Yeah, that's all I say. I know. I mean, it wasn't in like a Nuzlocke or a Pokemon game. It was in Pokemon Go. I remember fighting one, and I was like, sorry. I have some really good Pokemon here. Why? Oh, it turns into Swallow, does it? No way. Is this not the Pokemon that turns into Talonflame? No way. My life is a lie. Wait, hold up. There's no chance. Oh my god. I'm looking it up. Hold up. Oh my god. My entire life is a lie. Yeah, I just realized that I'm thinking of a completely different Pokemon. I'm thinking of freaking... Alright. Swallow, I don't know if... Yeah, I know. It just occurred to me. For some reason, I've always confused them. And, yeah. Oh, unfortunate on my side. Whoopsies. Anyways, let's continue before I get sad.
It's for sweeping teams if she sets up too many dragon dances. I went to the grass to train up the team, and the worst happened. Corn was killed by pin missile from a Zigzagoon. Wait, no. Stop.
This is what I was talking about. I hate multiple moves. Poor Corn.
Corn, no, Corn! You monster! How could you do this? Is this why you kept trying to kill all the Zigzagoons? I want to think that Corn sacrificed himself because he knew we were at too much of a disadvantage going into Winona's gym.
Guys, no, go back. Look at the freaking... Wait, where is that? Oh, we'll just play from it. Oh my god, look at Machoke. Look at Machoke, guys. That's so funny. Oh my god. Is the stream name still say Terraria? Okay, I would just like to clarify that this was a Terraria stream. And we're at the very end of the stream, and we were just watching a Nuzlocke video before I say goodbye because I didn't want to say goodbye yet. So sorry guys. But I just want you to know that it was a Terraria stream. We were building a platform to fight Wildflesh, so it was not a lie. We're just doing something fun before I say goodbye, basically. But we're watching a Pokemon Nuzlocke, so if you want to stick around, feel free to do so.
Knew we were at too much of a disadvantage going into Winona's gym, and by opening up a space, we could get the type advantage we needed to stand a chance. With a heavy heart, I brought Zip Zap Zop the Magnemite to the
Nice!
team, and realized
I love
how much
Magnemite.
more grinding I was gonna have to do.
Yeah.
I had to fight so many Merrills to get Zip Zap Zop on par with the rest of the team. You want to know how many? The move Thunderbolt can be used 15 times before it runs out, and I had to go back to the Pokemon Center almost 6 separate times to refill.
I feel that. For separate reasons, but I feel that. You know how, when I felt like this? When I was trying to catch a good IV Snorlax. I had to spend days, and it's so hard to catch a Snorlax because one, they are a hard catch to begin with. You need to separate at least 10 to 15 Pokeball with it. And before you say, D, you need to make sure that his level's low and his status no. It used to be almost no health and paralyzed or slept. Still a hard catch. And it knows Body Slam with its insane attack. It paralyzes so often. And it was such a pain to catch a Snorlax. I would have to go and heal almost every single time I caught one. And I think I have about 50, if not way more, that I caught. And I still couldn't find a really good one. But that was so annoying. But yeah, so I feel her pain. Those were painful times. But let's continue.
Meaning Zip Zap Zop killed more than 80 Marill that were living in that lake. Winona led with Swellow, which Zip Zap Zop was able to take out. But she immediately brought out Altaria, which made me very scared because I know she's got Earthquake on that thing. I didn't have a clean switch, and I knew no one on the team could take 2 hits from this Cloud Bird. So I ultimately decided that I'd have to have Zip Zap Zop paralyze it in exchange for his death. Goodbye, Zip Zap Zop. You weren't here for long, but your efforts will not be in vain. Oh my god! Somehow Zip Zap Zop lived the earthquake on 2 HP like a mad lad. Corn must have been looking down on us for that one because there was definitely a 90% chance Zip Zap Zop was supposed to die there.
That is so cool. But I just thought, I suppose it depends because doesn't Magnemite have Sturdy? Maybe she just got a one but didn't have it because obviously you can't change it. But I was just thinking, pardon me, that's unlucky if that Magnemite didn't have Sturdy, the one that she caught. And that's insanely lucky that it was at 2 health. Damn, that is interesting. I think Magnemite has Sturdy. I only know that because I used to have a Magnezone in my team, and that was pretty much not the only reason I got it. I wanted to play with it. Anyways, but Altaria's low attack. Well, there you go. But Altaria is scary, man. I've played with Altaria and it's been very scary, but yeah, well, it's very lucky that because it's not even a magnet zone, it still needs to evolve, so it's
String of luck, I was able to switch Ari in for Zip Zap Zop to predict another earthquake and started chipping away at the Altaria, which was not gonna be easy. She was already starting to stack up those dragon dances, which make her moves even more powerful.
When a Pokemon starts like Dragon Dance, Source Dance, that's when, I start like sweating. Because the shit's about to go down.
And I was legitimately sweating. But with what little luck we had left, Winona got greedy and tried to get in that last Dragon Dance. And that's when Ari was able to swoop in and snipe that kill. If that Altaria would have decided to attack at any point, she would have one-shotted anyone and everyone on my team. Thank you, Corn. You shined your photosynthesis onto us. From there, I was able to heal up Zip Zap Zop and sweep the rest of her team. The 6th gym badge was ours. Outside the Safari Zone, I found a Duskull I was able to catch. I tried to have Gary on the team.
Very good Pokemon. A Dusknoir. Nor. I can't speak today. Very bulky, awesome Pokemon. I would love to play with a Dusknoir one day. Just saying. It's a really good Pokemon. Or Dusclops. Which one's the fully evolved form again? I can't remember. But you get my point. Good Pokemon.
since resurrecting him from the dirt.
I
but
think
he
it's,
honestly has like no moves that do damage, so I decided to replace him with Sin. We arrived in Lily Cove and I tried fishing on the beach for a Pokemon, but Chad punched the Whalmer I reeled up too hard and killed it. We stormed Team Magma's base, and while trying to get the Master Ball they've got on the ground, an Electrode exploded and almost killed Chad, which was uncalled for. After beating their admin, they escaped into a submarine, and I went on to fight the next gym. Tate and Liza were the first double battle gym leaders, and I didn't realize until too late that I was just a tad underleveled for them.
They don't have any more than 2 Pokemon, so I think we should be okay. 42!
42. Oh, that's a bit cooked. That's gonna be tough. I'm excited.
Uh-oh. Sin and Zip Zap Zop made a good duo, being able to confuse and paralyze them.
Nice.
But Solrock managed to get off a Sunny Day powered flamethrower in Zip Zap Zop's face, which totally killed him.
No
That
way.
really sucked. He put in so much work for the team and really carried us this far.
That's so
the
sad.
rest of this fight's for you.
I really wanted the Magnezone to be around for longer so I could evolve. That's so sad. But I mean, how was he ever surviving a fire type move? But that's very unfortunate.
You Zip Zap Zop. Squidward came out, and together with Sin, were able to finish off the duo, getting us our 7th gym badge. Alright, Spurky, you're up. I think I single-handedly wiped out the entire water Pokemon population between Zip Zap Zop and Spurky. I went to Shoal Cave and caught Blubby the Spheal, and went out to take on...
Spheal! Spheal, Walrein. I used that Pokemon in Gen 2. It was so awesome. I was just toxic and protect. It was such a good Pokemon, and it had like fat as well.
Maxie one last time. For some reason, I didn't learn my lesson when being underleveled for Tate and Liza, because I was even more underleveled for Maxie.
Oh my god.
It doesn't go down? This fight was rough.
Oh,
Chad
God.
was able to take out his Mightyena, but I resorted to Squidward when his Crobat came out, and luck wasn't on my side here, because Squidward was killed by a high roll wing attack. The way Pokemon works is there's a small range of damage an attack can do. It's not actually the same all the time.
I've noticed this because sometimes I will think that it's always the same amount of damage you can take from an attack. But it's, when I'm in the wild and say like I'm on 50% health or something, and I think, okay, or like say I'm on 51% health, something like that, and I think, okay, I should take one more. I should be able to take one more, because I've always thought that there's no like a degree of error in terms of how much attack damage you take. But this does happen to me every now and then, and I think, oh my god, bro.
Kind of based on chance. So even though it looked like Squidward could have lived 2 wing attacks, Maxie was able to get a low roll on the first one and a high roll on the second, which was the death of Squidward. But it wasn't time to give up. I
can't believe we're losing Squidward. Oh, we didn't even really get to see him in action. That's so sad. Reap Squidward, you were my favorite character in the show.
To persevere. For Squidward. Ari came in and took out the Crobat and lived on 1 HP when hit by Camerapt's Rock Slide.
Oh my god.
Tough battle, but we squeaked by. Barely. After that fight, I needed to take a step back and seriously grind up the team again. If we were
Look at this feel.
just a bit more underleveled, we would have been murdered. Blubby joined the team and we got to work, eventually arriving in Sutopolis. Steven and the Sutopolis gym leader Wallace were there, saying Groudon was in the cave because someone used the wrong orb and pissed him off. So I went in there, walked up to Groudon, and Master Balled him immediately. There's no way I'm fighting Groudon. Now get in the box.
Damn. That's so now there's a Groudon in the team? Damn. Okay. That took a turn for pretty cool.
While fighting Wallace, Spurky was able to take out his Love Disc and Celio. Sin beat his Whiscash, and Chad finished off the Milotic. The team was perfect.
Never mind. You don't get a Groudon in the team. Okay. Whew. I was like, damn. But look at the team. Not bad, right? Blaziken, Duxclops. I forget what the evolved form is called. Machoke, which is still not Machamp. Very interesting. Swallow and is that fully evolved Walrein? I think so. Oh, I see. Most people don't use them for Nuzlocke. I see. So, okay. Didn't know that. Good to know.
And after obtaining our final
Cool
gym
team
badge,
so far.
I knew we were ready for the Elite Four.
Oh my
We got
god.
through Victory Road.
Elite 4, here we go. Never mind, I was wrong. That's Walrein. How did I forget? I played with Walrein. See, has to keep in Machoke. Oh, is that right? I see. Oh, there's a Claydol over there. It's just fun. So funny.
Wally tried to fight us for the last time, but he just needs to stop. We exited the cave, and there it was. The final challenge. Here we go. Sydney was up first, and honestly, he wasn't a challenge at all. Chad and Teriyaki were able to take care of his team with ease. Phoebe wasn't difficult either, with Sin and Blubby being MVPs. Glacia was a bit tougher. Teriyaki was able to take out her Glalie, and Spurky could handle her Celios, but her Walrein was the big problem.
Yeah.
Walreins are thick, can tank a lot of hits, and can do a lot of damage. I would know, because I have one. I brought out Chad.
Exactly. I had a Walrein in my second gen run, right? And these are the moves I had. I had the priority ice move, I think, if not a non-priority. I'm not sure about that one, but it was an ice move for stab, basically, that's all. Then I had toxic, and then I had protect. And I think I had a water move just because it's ice water type, so I kept 2 stab moves. And basically how I'd play it is, if there's a ice type or a fire type Pokemon in front of me, which I had a thick ability, so you take half damage from fire moves, so handy for an ice type Pokemon. Which, I mean, it would take normal damage because it's also water type, but now it's even more reduced. But, so, toxic, protect yourself. Tank a few hits, do chip damage while Toxic does job. And it's tanky enough that it will have to, it works. It just does. I think from my Gen 2 team, Walrein was my favorite. Also, I just saw your message, Realtor. That's completely fine. Are you just gonna keep rating my streams 9 by 10 until I ban Magpie? I suppose that's fair. But anyways, we'll be done with the stream soon anyway, but bye-bye. Thank you so much for staying till the end. I appreciate it a lot. And I'm glad you enjoyed. I do love me a Walrein too. I'm very excited to see where this goes.
And she was able to get in a good amount of damage, but she was ultimately killed by Blizzard. Sin came out to try and confuse it, but it broke through the confusion and landed a Sheer Cold. Sheer Cold is a one-hit KO move. It has a 30% chance of hitting the target and will fail if the target Pokemon's level is higher than the user's. But even under all those conditions, it hit. And Sin was killed.
No way. That's so unfortunate. I know Share Cold is such a scary move. I mean, it's very inaccurate, but man, a guaranteed KO is crazy work. And especially on a Pokemon like a Walrein, where it can take hits enough to justify having a move with 30% accuracy. That's insane.
Great team members, down and out. Chad was with us for so long and pulled so much weight, and Sid got us through some really tough battles. Even with those losses, we were able to finish Glacia off and move on to the final Elite Four member, Drake. Drake's got a tough team, but we've got a Blubby, and she wanted revenge for her fallen comrades. She ice beamed every single one of Drake's Pokemon. Just a straight up massacre. And with that, it was on to the last battle. Steven Stone. I was legitimately nervous. I led with Spurky to take out his Skarmory as quick as possible, and Blubby was able to take out his Claydol and Aggron, but then
having a Walrein is very handy for here. Not only is it good against all of the team, but also it's so tanky, and it's just honestly I'm glad she got. I think the Walrein will have made this much easier. I would have loved if I got a Walrein in my Nuzlocke. I love that Pokemon. Can you tell I love that Pokemon? Because I did. But let's see. Is that a Metagross hand I see? If that is, then this is going to be interesting.
Then came his Metagross.
Yeah, it is.
This might be the end. Metagross is Steven's strongest Pokemon, so I needed to hinder it as much as I could before it started doing serious damage. I knew his Metagross had Earthquake, which would definitely take out most of my team, so I had to have Spurky Kamikaze to get a paralysis off. Blubby came out again, and after a lot of hard work, finally beat the Metagross by spamming Surf.
Nice.
Teriyaki was able to finish his Cradily, and his final Pokemon was Armaldo, Gary's final revenge for getting booted from the team. I brought out Blubby because Teriyaki was pretty weakened, and after realizing she gets two-shotted by him, I knew she was gonna have to die.
Aww.
So with a heavy heart, Blubby pulled off her last Surf, getting Armaldo in the red, and was killed.
Aww.
Teriyaki.
She did her job. That's very respectable.
The Pokemon who's been with us from the start, who's seen her friends die in front of her. The OG refused to let any more murder happen. Onion, Corn, Zap, Squidward, Chad, Sin, Spurky, Blubby. Their zeros and ones won't go down in vain. One good kick to the head, and we did it. We completed the Pokemon Ruby Nuzlocke. Teriyaki and Ari were the only survivors, but the whole team put in a lot of work to get us to number 1. A cheers to the true Mad Lads.
Aww. Oh my god, that's so cool. Amazing video, by the way. But also very interesting, because honestly, for like a base, Blobby died at the end. Oh wait, was it Blobby or did someone else also? Walrein, I think. Wait. Oh my god, we just watched it. What's wrong with me? Hold on. She had Swallow and Blaziken. Wait, let's see. Cause I also how do we bro? What's wrong with us? Let's see. That's Blobby. No, I think the last Pokemon down was Blobby. Yeah. It was Blobby. A Walrein. Anyway, wow. Honestly, for a base Nuzlocke, pretty good team, I would say. And yeah, great video for sure. It was a very awesome video. I think the only 2 Pokemon that made to the end were Blaziken and Swallow. But honestly, pretty good team. And it's such a good video. It's very well made. No, but it deserves, like the 90. I think it's got like almost 90 million views, but well deserved. Really good video. And honestly, this video makes me want to do a Nuzlocke so bad, because it's so fun, and honestly, like, I would definitely be up for it if you guys think that, we should do one. I will definitely be up for it, because I think I tried Nuzlocke once before, but because it was like you could get anything, as a starter, and it could be a legendary, whatever. I think it's kind of overwhelmed. I think I like to start with a base Nuzlocke, just like this one, where it's maybe we can watch more of our other videos in the future. But yeah, I was thinking that I think I'd be up for a base Nuzlocke if you guys are up for it. Maybe I'll do a poll on Discord or like something like that. And yeah, we'll see. She's getting so much better since this. That's good. I think this was from 5 years ago as well. So, it's a randomized one you played. Yeah, I think it was the one. Randomized one. But, honestly, let me make myself bigger. But, great video. And with that, I'm gonna have to say goodbye, unfortunately, guys. This is the longest stream I've done. I think it's like over 4 hours. If you want to join my live streams, I go live every Saturday and Sunday with some occasional streams midweek. So make sure to follow so you can stay connected. Okay, I got a little bit distracted at the end there, but that'll do. Anyways, bye guys. Thank you so much for sticking all the way till the end. I had so much fun. I honestly had so much fun today.